welcome back everybody to an all-new fast food pit stops. I'm your host Justin. I'm here at Einstein Brothers Bagels for the first time on the channel to check out something brand new. Now this is brand new for a couple of reasons. It's brand new to Einstein Brothers, but it's also brand new to me. I'm doing a Lox Bagel, but not just any Lox Bagel, the brand new California Nova Lox. So Einstein Brothers, just like any other bagel shop, always offers some variation of a Lox Bagel. Lox is simply raw salmon, thinly sliced, and in this case it's Nova Lox. I assume that means Nova Scotian salmon. So here's why the California Nova Lox looked absolutely fantastic to me. First of all, I love sushi, and this is frankly and basically sushi on a bagel. Let me explain. The California Nova Lox starts out on a sesame seed bagel, which I ordered toasted. Then of course it has the Nova Lox on there, which is the thinly sliced raw salmon. And just for clarification, it is raw, but it is smoked. It is cold smoked salmon, okay? It's not cooked, it's smoked. So smoked salmon, there's avocado on there, pickled cucumber, red onions, wasabi-ginger Shmear, and like I said, it's all packed onto a sesame seed bagel. So the elements of that are really similar to sushi. There's that cream cheese element, the cucumber, the salmon, the wasabi, all on a sesame seed toasted bagel. The total on this was $7.49, and their regular Lox or Nova Lox bagel is $6.99. So really, it's 50 cents more here, and the two are completely different, and I'll actually be able to demonstrate that in just a second. First, let's go ahead and get into it here. The brand new California Nova Lox Bagel from Einstein Brothers Bagels, making their debut here on the channel. It's a first for them, it's a first for me. I've never had a Nova Lox or any type of Lox bagel in my life. Let's go ahead and dig into it here. Oh, I bet it's gonna be pretty. Oh man, it smells really fresh. Sesame seeds. I got the bagel toasted, of course. Smoked salmon sticking out right there. It's nice and pink, just the way you would expect. Now let me show you the inside. How does that look? It smells really good. I immediately can smell the sesame coming from it. And then you definitely get the sort of the green smell of that wasabi-ginger coming through along with the cucumbers. So it has that fresh salad smell almost, like a salmon salad, a smoked salmon salad, or better yet, a salmon sushi roll. And there's the fresh smashed avocados. I love that. Oh, you guys see that? It looks nice and clean. We've got several little slices of that on here. And remember, we've got two sides of this. The veggie region, we've got the cucumbers and then the red onions. Underneath all of that, wasabi-ginger Shmear, which is gonna be like a cream cheese base that they've added just the wasabi and ginger to. I can't stand it anymore. I'm gonna go on here on a first bite, big bite of the brand new California Nova Lox from Einstein Brothers Bagels. Sushi on a bagel. Here we go, big bite. It's got a very nice and light smoked salmon flavor to it. It's super creamy because they add that cream cheese spread in there. Wasabi ginger Shmear. It's not spicy. You just sort of get a little bit of the taste of the wasabi on the back end of your tongue. The sesame seed bagel works perfectly with it. Just like when you get a sushi roll, they top it sometimes with sesame seeds depending on what type. It's that same sort of similar toasted sesame flavor with the smoked salmon, the fresh veggies, the cucumber popping. This is totally a different type of bagel than I've ever had before. Oh wow, there was that wasabi. Like I said, on the back of the tongue, it does kind of hit you a little bit, but it's super refreshing. It's really nice. But again, this is my first time ever having a Lox bagel. I think I always had this weird phobia growing up when I would go into a bagel shop and I heard of the Lox and I knew it had salmon and cream cheese and I was like, oh, you know, what is that? But as time went on and my taste buds developed, I'm sure a lot of you probably have a similar sentiment here. You know, you start to want to explore new flavors and new things. And I've always been a fan of seafood, but I've never really thought about adding it to a bagel. When I think of a bagel, I just think bagel, cream cheese, done. Sometimes make a bagel breakfast sandwich, but I'm gonna tell you something, I feel like I've been missing out here. I mean, look how nice and pink that salmon is, and it's got a really great thickness to it. It's super fresh. Absolutely no fish smell to it at all. You know what I smell? It smells smoked, like the smell of like a light smoke on any type of, you know, meat or seafood. But it's absolutely, look at this, how tender. It just pulls apart. I mean, you've got to remember, this isn't cooked. It is just cold smoked salmon. Totally safe to eat, obviously. The quality is surprisingly superb. Big bite. Let me show you real quick their regular Nova Lox. Now the Nova Lox, a lot of you probably have had, so this looks really familiar. And again, it looks just as impressive, just a totally different build to it. The Nova Lox has just a regular cream cheese schmear underneath. They use caper berries, which are these savory little vinegary, salty little berries here. And they go really well with fish, naturally. Little caper berry. Oh yeah, salty, briny, complements fish really well. Red onions and of course more of the salmon, and then they've got tomatoes. And in this case, I think they just put it on a regular plain bagel. This would be the normal Nova Lox that you're probably the most familiar with if you come to Einstein a lot. So we're not gonna sample that one in here, but I just wanted to show you guys the difference between, obviously, the Nova Lox and the California Nova Lox. Sushi-ish concoction with the cucumbers, the wasabi-ginger, cream cheese schmear. Of course, they carry over the red onions, but it's got that avocado on there on the sesame bagel. This one does look pretty fire, doesn't it? God! You guys want me to take a bite of it, don't you? All right, okay, let me take a bite of it, and I'm just gonna compare it real quick. The regular, totally unplanned here. Totally different sandwich altogether. Dare I say, you almost can't taste the salmon just because the thick cream cheese is just so creamy. But the salmon's here and it's really delicious. That's a good sandwich, no doubt. Price on that was $6.99. But we're here checking out the main star of the show, the brand new California Nova Lox, just now added to their menu. It's a really nice, fresh sandwich. I actually really like it. And it's super healthy too. The calorie count's really low on this. The fat isn't all that bad. Definitely gonna give you an energy boost. It's got a lot of protein in here. Salmon, of course, is high in omega-3 fatty acids. All in all, I feel like I'm gonna probably ward off cancer for the day. So I think on a scale of 1 to 10 for the brand new California Nova Lox from Einstein Brothers Bagels, now available nationwide, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I thought it was a really good sandwich. Certainly not super spectacular, but it was really surprising and refreshing. I think if you just go into it thinking a sushi roll versus their normal Nova Lox sandwich, because the two really do taste completely different. Super traditional, super West Coast, New York meets California, and I met them right here in the middle. Geographically speaking, that's almost true. I'm gonna go on it here on a last bite, big bite of the brand new California Nova Lox Bagel from Einstein Brothers. Get it toasted, get it plain, get it on whatever kind of bagel you want, but the way I showed it's exactly the way they offer it. $7.49. Let's do it. Big bite. Thanks again, everybody, for checking out another great review here on Fast Food Pit Stops. I'm your host, Justin. You know you love it. You came back for some more of it. I'll be back for another fast food review. Bye, everybody. But we're here, and I've always been a fan of seafood.